Salam, my people in all four corners of the earth, all Beta Israel progeny and offspring of this kingdom, with all love and respect and salam, which means peace, I send my greetings from my royal court. This is King BINYAM SELAMUN of LEMBA BETA EZIRAEL. I should like to address people as I usually do, because there are always matters or subjects that need to be taught, to be explained. And I think I found that through this medium I'll be able to do so, to be able to instruct, to be able to teach, to be able to pass in a word to all children of Israel around the world through this medium, through the internet and social media and all social platforms and digital platforms, which I think are very effective in getting that message across to all children of Israel around the world. Our distinguished members of the royal house, the royal princes and princesses of this kingdom, the Queen Mother, first of all, of this kingdom, the mother of the reigning monarch, and also to distinguish other royal dignitaries in the kingdom, especially in the royal courts and in the vicinities of our settlements. With all respect for our neighbors and all humans around us. Today, I should like to speak about circumcision. Yes, circumcision, as you know, that we circumcise our children as one of our customs in Beta Israel. And in another video, I mentioned that the Beta Israel Abasena people from the southern Arabian Peninsula, which is situated now between the present Yemen, and Saudi Arabia. So I should like to explain that our customs from the region of our homelands still stands today, the custom and the tradition of circumcision of the male. We do not circumcise women. We only have some purification rites of women as they come into adulthood as women, into womanhood, to become clean and ready to procreate and have children and have marriage with a man in all purity and ritual purity. Yeah, but today I should like to address circumcision in relation particularly to men in this kingdom. What it means, what is the significance of it, how was it carried out according to our customs and tradition. As a king of LEMBA BETA Ezirael, I'm custodian of this customs and tradition that I'm speaking of right now, that should be protected, should be preserved, and not to be lost, and should be passed on from generation to generation. Now, I should like to explain this because there are misconceptions, as I said in the other video, talking about identity crisis within this kingdom. That some people are thinking that we are Jews when we are not. Jews is just a religion and it needs conversion to become a Jew. It takes conversion. So therefore we are not into conversion to a religion to identify ourselves. Our identity lies in ancestral tracing, ancestral lineage, and blood and birth. So here we are talking about circumcision now. What is the purpose of circumcision? Actually, regarding the male in Beta Israel, the circumcision is very simple to explain. Yes, it's so simple. It is actually the breaking of the virginity of a man. As you know that we always preserve ourselves not to be into any sexual immorality before we get married to somebody. We cannot be having any sexual relations with somebody if we are not married to them. This is our custom. We can't go around having boyfriend, girlfriend, playing around. No, we don't do it that way. That is not our culture. Maybe somebody else's culture, but not ours. Ours is different, okay? We do not go around fooling around with men and boys and girls having sexual relations that are petty and very frivolous and promiscuous or just informal or illicit or something. We don't do it that way. People get married in order to have sexual relations with each other. This is where it starts. So, what is it that breaks the virginity of a man? Is circumcision. So, why is the virginity of a man broken? So that he can bring forth offspring. So, this is sort of like a preparation for them to be able to produce children. And that is the breaking of the virginity, because before they could have any children, there were virgins. But in this case, there were male virgins. So if there were male virgins, the virginity of a man is broken, and the sign of the seal of that breaking of the virginity is symbolized by blood. So blood has to come out to seal the agreement that now, from now on, I'm going to make babies. I'm going to procreate, and I'm going to multiply and have many children in my home to create a people. Yes, to procreate. And now, the procreation urge is the one that brings in circumcision as a preparation for that. So the man who is circumcised to break his virginity, because before he could get circumcised, he was a virgin. In other words, he had never had sexual relations with a woman before. Yes. So instead of breaking the virginity by sleeping with a woman, because he cannot do that if he's not married to that woman. If he does that, it will be sexual immorality. So according to our custom, so our marriages and circumcision go side by side. You get circumcised in order to get married. You get married in order to have children. So this sort of like prepares you for that procreation to happen. Because without circumcision, then you cannot have children because you are not prepared to do so. And in order for you to show and to agree that you're going to make children and you're going to be ready and be prepared for the procreation of children, you have to enter into an agreement that has to be sealed with blood as a seal. Just like you know, if the seal is broken, the document is no longer regarded as a sealed document anymore. It has got no security. All right. It has got no security because the seal is broken. And so this document could have leaked. The information that was kept in there could have leaked without any permission because the seal was broken. And so everything and the contents of that could be misplaced. And so what we are saying here is the blood is the seal. Just imagine a letter sealed in an envelope. Before we had these modern envelopes or whatever, we were sealing with a seal that looks like reddish blood and looks like candle share. It's like the wax of a candle. And then we would seal that, make sure we would close that envelope. So the owner of that agreement or that letter will be the only one to break the seal, not the person who does not have a right to access of that particular documentation. So in the same way, the agreement must be kept. Yes. And be sealed. Yes. So how is it sealed in circumcision? It's sealed by blood. Yeah. So this is the virginity of a man being broken and the seal of an agreement by blood that this man from now on will be married and will have children from now on. So, which means if we have to set the date for the circumcision of a person, it has to go in subsequence to the marriage, because the marriage will have to happen. Maybe let's say the circumcision happens this month. Probably the date of the marriage is another month. Maybe it's only 30 days in between the circumcision day and the day of marriage, of celebration of marriage, when this man is going to meet his wife in the future, for the future, to have babies with this woman. So therefore, the appointment, the date of celebration of the wedding, or when the wedding is going to happen, must be in proportion and must go in subsequence with the date when this man is circumcised, because he's circumcised for the purpose of breaking his virginity to have babies with the woman he's going to get married to, not any other woman. Yeah. So therefore, he is prepared to procreate. Yes. So if this man is impotent, which means he has got problems of being barren, he cannot have babies because he has got health problems, he's not able to fertilize the woman, then it will mean that circumcision will have no business there. So the only time when circumcision will become important is when this man is capable of procreating. So that's why when you read about Abraham, you hear that Abraham got circumcised the time when he was having his first son, because he didn't have before. So he could have been circumcised in his old age. Why is he circumcised in his old age? He's circumcised in his old age because that was the time when he was having a baby for the first time, because his wife was barren. So the circumcision is in relation to him making babies. So if he is not making babies, or his wife is not making babies, for him, the circumcision has very little or no meaning here, because it's not preparing him for making babies, for procreation. So at the time when he's giving birth to a woman, that is when this man's virginity is broken to produce a child, and that's when circumcision becomes relevant. Yes. So then I'm trying to blow to pieces completely that it's not in our custom or tradition to circumcise infants. Like people say 8-year-old infant is circumcised. For what? Only sexually active people that are prepared to procreate and are active and are ready at that age as teenagers, because according to us, the marriage age is 17 for the man, while for the woman is 12 or 13 or more. Has to be younger than the man, at least with 5 years. Yes. And so the marriages were arranged by the parents, not by the couple. Yes, not by the couple at all. So if the marriages are arranged by the parents, not the couple, the parents of the man go to the parents of the girl with a gift. So in other words, the man, the father of the boy, of the son, goes to look for a wife for his own son in another family that he trusts, the values of that family. He trusts that that family is a good family where he can find a wife for his son. He goes there with gifts to give to his future prospective father-in-law or brother-in-law a gift and say, do you accept me? I've come here to look for your daughter. Do you accept my gift as a sign of accepting that I can have your daughter for my son? If the gift is accepted, then it means that the daughter will be given to this man's son as a wife. That's when the date of circumcision of that man is important in preparation for the marriage. So if the marriage is in the next month, so probably this month will be circumcision, looking at that marriage date. Yes, it is not something that should be done to infants. No. Even in this Hebrew Bible or Greek Roman Bible, it says something completely different from our tradition. That it was Abraham sent his servant to go and look for a wife for his son Isaac. completely incorrect. Abraham, according to our Machefeku Fale, was the one who did so. You cannot send a servant to look for a wife for your son. Never. Not in Israel. Never. It doesn't happen that way. So whatever is written in that Greek Deuteronomy or Genesis or whatever is incorrect. Our holy book does not say that. It says Abraham himself went to look for a wife for his own son. This is our tradition. So when he goes there, he goes with a gift. If the parents of the girl accept the gift, it means that they are ready to give their daughter to him. Yes. And then Isaac, circumcision, will be in association with that marriage of that woman that his father has found for him. He doesn't choose for himself a wife. No, it's not our custom. His parents are the ones that go and look for a wife for him and present him a wife from the right people, the people they trust, the people they have great respect for the values of those people. Yeah. They know that family is good, the morals, everything, and they give it. So that's when the circumcision of Isaac, when did it happen? It happened in view of the date ahead of the marriage. So he's not getting circumcised because he is 8 years old or he's 15. No, he's getting circumcised for marriage, for making babies with his wife. That's what he's circumcised for. So, how about the woman? The woman also has a blood covenant. Apart from menstruation, is the first encounter with the man that she's going to get married to is the thing that brings some kind of blood during a sexual activity. That blood that is released is the one that is sealing the covenant also, apart from the blood that comes through menstruation. But it is the blood that is released during the first contact with a man, sexual contact. There is some kind of blood that she gets from breaking her virginity with, I think we have a special name for that kind of blood. It's not that much like the menstruation blood, but it is just a little blood that is coming from the action of the intercourse, which causes her a little bit of damage. Yes. And that is the blood that seals the covenant. The blood that comes when her virginity has been broken by the man during sexual intercourse. Not the blood of menstruation. Yes. So this is how we determine this. And then the woman who is going to get married to a man mustn't have had another man before because she must be a virgin. Yes. Her virgin will be broken by the husband in a marriage. Thank you. So the woman is tested during the marriage. I will talk about our marriage in Beta Israel, how it is arranged. Yes. So, which means the teenagers mostly are the people who are sexually active at teenage age to be the ones to get married. So it's sort of like a reservation for you to have a woman so that at any time when you have sexual feelings for somebody, it will lead you to a marriage rather than leading you to playing around sexually with girls. So as soon as a teenager is sexually active, like for example 17 is our age of marriage, then it means that the feelings of this teenager will not be wasted. It will be into marriage. And so circumcision of the male, as I said before, is to break the virginity and to prepare him for procreation. And the woman's virginity will be broken. But the woman has to be examined before the marriage happens that she is a virgin. But if she has been broken, her virginity has been broken by someone else in secret, it will be looked upon as a complete null and void marriage cannot happen because the woman has not kept herself pure. Yes. So the man's virginity is broken by circumcision, preparing him for marriage. That's what's going on here. Right? So what is circumcision here now? The agreement is clear. So what are these people doing when they circumcise little children, 8-year-old, 10-year-old, or less than teenage age, maybe 10 years, not sexually active, has no significance whatsoever, and it's not Beta Israel tradition. Beta Israel tradition only is interested in circumcising someone only if they are sexually active and we're looking forward to their marriage to their partner where they will start producing children. So now this has been misunderstood in the modern world today that, oh, these people are marrying children. They want children to get married when they are not old enough. It's almost like a reservation that you have for the person. If a boy is a teenager or a girl is a teenager to marry, otherwise, what are they going to do with their feelings for each other? It's no point. So this marriage is respected because there is a structure of society. So these people are not misbehaving. It is a molding of a person from that age into adulthood with a partner. This is the teaching of the purity from that age onwards until they get there. So they cannot say they're not responsible, they're not old enough to get married. No. It's an institution. It's a structure of society that is molding the person from that age to be married and being taught how to become an adult in a step after step after step of their lives, so that they do not make many mistakes. So there is guidance of the parent, there is initiation by the elders until they get there. Maybe they are 20-something years old, but they have already been in marriage and they're being molded in that way as they grow. So marriage doesn't attack them at a certain age in the future. No, marriage starts with them and grows them up until they get to what we consider today in the modern world as the right time to get married, when you are mature. But our marriages are part of the molding and the growing of a person, rather than only having the marriage when they have passed those stages when they were 18, 20. What were they learning at the particular time? If they are not married, so the institution of marriage cannot start training them if they are not married. So in our case, we train people for the institution of marriage because they get married at that age of 17 and 13 for the woman. Yes. So it's part of growing them up with that culture. That's what it is all about. When someone is saying, oh, they're abusing children and putting them into marriages. No, we are molding them in that institution. Thank you very much. Circumcision is not for infants. Circumcision is only for mature, marriageable couples. 17 for a man and 13 for a woman. Thank you very much. Salam, my people. The religions have spoiled our customs and have distorted our customs. Today you are hearing from the king of this kingdom saying to you, circumcision is the breaking of the virginity of a man in order for him to procreate, and prepares him. And when the woman is broken, in her virginity is broken, is only when he has contact with this husband, this new husband. Thank you very much. Salam, my people.